The observation deck of the Celestial Harmony hummed with the usual evening chatter. Captain Mara Lynn stood by the viewport, her reflection ghosting across the stars beyond. She wore no medals, no insignia beyond the simple captain's bars on her collar. To the crew, she was just another mid-tier officer, competent, quiet, unremarkable. That was exactly how she preferred it, Captain Lynn called Ensign Vexthor, his chitinous plates clicking as he approached. "The supply manifest needs your signature." Mara nodded, accepting the datapad without fanfare. Around her, the diplomatic delegation from the Krathak Empire moved through the deck like apex predators surveying new territory. Their scales gleamed under the artificial lights, their clawed hands resting on ceremonial weapons that were anything but ceremonial. The Krathak were the galaxy's most feared warrior race. Their empire had crushed a dozen civilizations before humanity had even reached the stars. Now, in this era of uneasy peace, they served as the coalition's enforcers, respected, feared, and never questioned. Mara signed the manifest and returned it, her movements economical and precise. She'd learned long ago that blending in was a survival skill, even among allies. "Captain," a young voice pierced through the ambient noise. Mara turned to see Kerr bounding across the deck, his juvenile scales still soft and mottled with youth. The cub was barely waist-high, his tail whipping excitedly behind him. His mother, Ambassador Shakar, watched from across the room with the patient resignation of a parent who'd long since given up on controlling her energetic offspring. "Captain Lynn!" Kerr skidded to a stop before her, his amber eyes wide with excitement. "Is it true humans can survive in places that would kill us? That you breathe poison and drink acid?" Mara's lips quirked into a small smile. "We breathe oxygen and drink water, Kerr, same as you. But Ensign Vexthor said humans come from a death world, that your planet tried to kill you every day. Earth is spirited," Mara admitted. "But we adapted." Kerr's tail swished faster. For the past 3 weeks of the diplomatic mission, the cub had attached himself to Mara like a shadow. While his mother negotiated treaties and trade agreements, Kerr peppered the human captain with endless questions about Earth, humanity, and anything else his curious mind latched onto. "Will you tell me another story?" Kerr asked, settling on the floor beside her feet. "About the old wars?" Mara glanced around the observation deck. No one paid them any attention. The senior officers were engaged in their own conversations, and the Krathak delegation maintained their proud distance from the lesser crew members. "All right," Mara said, lowering herself to sit cross-legged on the deck. Kerr immediately mimicked her posture, tail curling around his legs. "During the siege of Proxima, human ships were outnumbered 10-1, Mara began, her voice soft but clear. "The enemy thought we'd surrender. Instead, we sent them a message, we are still here." Kerr's eyes widened. "What happened?" "We held for 73 days. When reinforcements finally arrived, the enemy fleet had been reduced to scrap. Not a single human ship retreated." "You're very brave," Kerr whispered, then hesitated. "Captain, why don't you wear more medals?" "Ensign Vexthor has 3, and he says he's never even been in a real battle." Mara's smile turned wistful. "Medals are heavy, little one. Sometimes it's easier to travel light." Before Kerr could respond, Ambassador Shakar's voice cut through the deck like a blade. "Kerr, come here at once." The cub's head drooped, but he stood obediently. As he started to leave, he turned back to Mara. "Will you still be here tomorrow?" "I'm not going anywhere," Mara assured him. That night, alarms shattered the peace. Pirate raiders, desperate, vicious, and armed with stolen military tech, had ambushed the Celestial Harmony near the Void Nexus. The ship shuddered under weapons, fire as crew members scrambled to battle. Stations. Mara was already moving before the second alarm rang. She'd changed into her combat gear, still unmarked, still unremarkable, and was coordinating defense grids when she heard the screaming. The pirates had boarded near the diplomatic quarters. Mara's jaw tightened. She grabbed her sidearm and ran, her boots silent on the deck plating. Behind her, confused crew members shouted questions, but she didn't slow down. She found Kerr in a corridor, his small body pressed against the wall as 3 armored raiders advanced. His mother lay stunned nearby, her breathing labored. Well, one raider sneered, his translator crackling. "A Krathak cub. The Empire will pay handsomely for—" He never finished the sentence. Mara moved like liquid death. 3 shots, 3 bodies. The raiders dropped before their weapons could even track her position. She was already checking Ambassador Shakar's vitals when reinforcements arrived. Captain Lin, Vexthor gasped, staring at the bodies. How did you secure the corridor? Mara ordered, her voice still calm. Medical team to my position. Kerr's small claws gripped her sleeve. You saved us. Just doing my job, little one. No. Kerr's voice was firm despite his trembling. You're not just a captain. I can feel it. You're more. The next morning, the Celestial Harmony rendezvoused with a coalition flagship for prisoner transfer. When the airlock opened, the ship's commander, a decorated Krathak general, stepped aboard and immediately knelt before Mara Lin. The observation deck fell silent. Vexthor's datapad clattered to the floor. Fleet Admiral Lin, General Kratok rumbled, his massive head bowed. It is an honor. Mara's expression didn't change. General, please stand. You know I don't... The hero of Proxima, Kratok continued, rising, victor of the Centauri campaign. The only being to have ever defeated Krathak Empire forces in single combat, and then insisted on peace terms that saved both our species. We thought you retired. I did, Mara said quietly. I prefer simpler duties now. Ambassador Shakar, recovered and standing beside her son, stared in shock. You're the Mara Lin? The peacemaker? The Titan of Terra? Just Mara is fine. Kerr tugged on her sleeve, his amber eyes shining. Does this mean you're important enough? Can I... He swallowed, gathering courage. Can I be yours now? Will you be my honor guardian? Silence filled the deck. In Krathak culture, such a request was sacred, a bond between warrior and student deeper than blood. Mara knelt, bringing herself to Kerr's eye level. For the first time in years, her mask cracked and genuine warmth filled her eyes. I would be honored, Kerr. The cub's tail whipped in joy as he wrapped his small arms around her neck. Over his shoulder, Mara caught Ambassador Shakar's grateful nod. Later, as the Celestial Harmony resumed its course, Vexthor found Mara back at her usual spot by the viewport. Captain, he floundered. Captain is fine, Ensign. Why hide who you are? Mara watched the stars drift past. Because sometimes the most important battles aren't won with titles and medals. Sometimes they're won by being present. By being kind. By showing up. Behind her, Kerr was already pestering another crew member with questions, his joy infectious. Mara smiled. Some things were worth more than rank. Some things were worth everything.